Grazie, bella, bella. Indigo, say hello to SPL's Pro. SPL's Pro, say hello to Indy. Whoa, whoa. I need to accumulate. I need to accumulate 4,000 hours on the monetization of SPL's Pro new channel. So I'm going to do two, one on each, as I've got the two channels and two handsets. I need some paper I'm going to talk to you about. I've just been talking about bill of sale and iron horses and how to protect an iron horse in a private unlisted video feed on SPL's Pro. So that video feed was put into a forum on splspro.com. So we're going private. For those on Indiglo, then yeah, you will search SPL's space PRO on YouTube and you'll find the second account, which is what I'm on here and here too. And whilst we was talking about iron horses, property, owner, keeper, traveller, stroke driver, we were talking about the property, the transfer of property, allodial title, what happens when you go initially and transfer from the seller to the buyer. You know, you are acquiring, you have an acquisition of stock that acquisition of property, that's acquisition of stock property that happens there. So you might have a handwritten receipt. It was on the lines of that, and I watched Django Unchained just for reference purposes. I've never seen it, and somebody said that I might need to watch it because they was doing trade of the black Negro man of bill of sale, and I was like, what do you mean? I know about the slave trade of the 1800s and so forth. And they said, well, what do you think of it? We had a chat, and I thought, I'll find Django Unchained and I'll watch it. So I'm going to go through some points that I noticed in this film and who was in it, what parts they played. One thing, I don't know the name of the actor, but he's called like Joe Jonas or something. Is that the man from 21 Jump Street? He's in a film, he's a Jewish actor. I'd like to know his name. Joe Jonas, Joe something. The other guys, 21 Jump Street. He's quite a portly guy, a bit curly hair. Who is he? I believe he's a Jewish guy. He was in the film wearing a pillow on his head. So he was portraying the part of a KKK. But we'll start from the beginning. Where do my notes start from? Flesh for Cash. That's what they mentioned in the film. That's not my title. The Flesh for Cash vigilantes. They were looking at wanted posters and they were finding out who was wanted by the legal arm of the law, and they obviously entered into an agreement. There was bosses for slaves, you know what I mean? Slaves had bosses, yes, boss, and they called the slaves boy. You know, there wasn't at the age of maturity, they was classed as children, as boys, you know. Boy, they call the black man the boy, the white man. And what happens at the beginning, there's a character, Dr. King, right? His name's Dr. King for a start. Okay, Dr. King Schultz. He's a legal representative of the Criminal Justice of America, apparently, he says in the film. And he goes up to a bloke at night. He's on his horse, and he says he wants to talk to him. And he says, "Have you got this bloke, this black slave from this village?" And the bloke says, "Yeah." And he says, "I want to buy him." And he's like, "No, you don't buy him. Not buying him." And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not giving it your script word for word. If you've watched Django, give me your comments. Tell me what you think. If you know, as I go through these parts. And he says, "I need to buy him. He's a witness to something. He needs to come up with me over here, and we're going to do. He's going to help me out. He's going to do some good." And the man's like, "No, he's not for sale." Blah blah blah. So they end up in a little bit of a fight, and the guy that's just turned up shoots the boss of the slaves. And as the boss of the slave falls, I think the horse falls on him. That's it. He doesn't shoot he shoots the boss of the slave's horse. It falls on him, and he's trapped. And the man says, "Right, how much for your slave? You've got two options here. I'm buying him, or I'm taking him." You know, he's trapped under his horse screaming, and he says, "All right, he's £135. So this guy throws down £135 and says, "I'll also be requiring a bill of sale for this slave." And he's like, no, I haven't got one. I can't give you a bill of sale. He goes, it's all right, I have one in hand. And he frees Jamie Foxx, who is Django, and he unchains him, and he then makes him a free man because he's been bought. Dr. King Schultz says his name is Django Freeman later on in the film. When they ask who that, this isn't my word, but they say the N word, the nigger word, quite a lot. I don't want to say that a lot, but this film is by Quentin Tarantino, so they're quite harsh. The language is harsh. There's no respect. They're talking about the black slaves. There's a lot of white supremacy. It's quite a crude, nasty, horrific film with the way that they set out the scenes and what the white man gets the black man to do. You know, so this guy gets Jamie Foxx, and they go off the go, and they end up in a little town. And they're in this little town, and they go into like a little bar, and they get into by the sheriff, and the sheriff apparently is a criminal when he's a sheriff, and he's got to be a sheriff. So this Dr. Schultz ends up shooting the sheriff. Then the US Marshal comes out of the town. When they're out, Jamie Foxx and Dr. Schultz, I forget the actor who plays him now, I forget his name. Feel free to remind me. And the Marshal comes out, and they run back into the bar, and they make an agreement, and he says, if I come outside, you give me your word you won't shoot me down in cold blood. And the Marshal says yes, because I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot it. Yeah, so the Marshal and Dr. Schultz come out, and he has a chat, and he says, I'm the representative of the Criminal Justice of America. You've given me your word as a lawman not to shoot. The sheriff was a criminal. He was rustling cattle, and this guy's got a warrant for the sheriff apparently, and that sorts the the US Marshal out. He says his name was King. Oh, there's a song. His name was King, he had a horse, he rode the countryside. It's just Tarantino crazy songs that come out through the film. I found that humorous. The valet, he says, Jamie Foxx, because what am I going to do now then? And he's like, I bought you, you're a free mate. Yeah, and he's got his blue suit on, riding the horse. And he says, you're my valet. And Jamie Foxx is like, what the fuck's a valet? And he's like, oh, valet, it's just a fancy word for servant or slave. I'm like, yes, it is. And some white guys see Jamie Foxx on a horse, and they proclaim that it's unlawful for an N-word. You know, I won't keep repeating the word, but the N-word, yeah, it's unlawful for an N to be riding a horse. And Dr. King says, oh, he's not an N, he's a free man. And he's come here to parlay from Texas to Tennessee. Django is actually an extension of Dr. King himself. What else? I've got some notes there. What do you get from programs? 1 in 1,000. I don't know what that means. The Lord said to fear me, they dreaded me behind every tree. Shoots 1 in heart. Bible page. There's a bloke with a Bible page who's a slave. Yeah, they go to the lands. They travel. Jamie and Dr. Schultz, and they get to this plantation where there's loads of slaves, African slaves. And they find this guy who was horrible to Jamie Foxx, and he's got his wife. It turns out his wife's in the slave trade, and she's been taken. They track it down, and they shoot a bloke straight away in cold blood. And they say that he was executed in legal boundaries. Dr. King and Jamie Foxx say to the plantation owner, when they ID one of these 3 guys that Jamie's been brought, Django's been brought to ID from that slave boss. Later on in the film, they say they shot him, and yeah, it was shot in legal boundaries. The KKK, they visit the horse cart where they're camping at night time, because they obviously the black guys gone and shot some white guys back in the 1800s. It went down like a ton of brown stuff. It was a setup, so they all got bags over their eyes. Yeah, and I've got Dr. King gave Django freedom, and he feels responsible for him. They meet Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah, and they meet in they say to go and meet in the Julius Caesar room. And where is it? Leo DiCaprio? No, it's not. Who's in it? They meet Leo. Is it Leo? I forget now who it is. Is it I can't think if it's Brad Pitt. They meet Brad Pitt, who plays a character called Leo, and in that scene there's an Egyptian mask with a snake thing on its head there coming out, the serpent in the scene. and then they say to meet in the Julius Caesar room. So yeah, the Nubian statue I thought I'd mention as well. I'm looking into Nubian technology and Nubian archaeology and stuff like that. So Brad Pitt, yeah, Leo, they go and meet the Candyman, and there's a vicious death fight going in there, Tarantino style. Two black guys fighting it out as slaves, like to the death, for the entertainment of the white man. That was just not needed. It was just extra gore. He pulls his eye out and everything. It's just like typical Tarantino, typical gore, Hollywood death, nastiness, vicious. The other guys that are there, slaves, the other black slaves, look on sadly. They're not happy about it. Django Freeman, call him boy. Samuel L. Jackson's there in that film as well. He plays the old guy in the house. Why is Samuel L. Jackson there? Samuel L. Jackson glasses up and tells the white guy of the house, Brad Pitt, Candy, that Candy's getting set up by Jamie Foxx and this white guy. And I'm like, why would a black guy go to a white guy and tell him about a black guy that's trying to get? And it's just warped the whole scene in that. When why would Samuel L. Jackson agree to play that scene? Why would Joe Jonas or whatever his name is, I forget his name now, the Jew guy, agree to wear a white pillow and play a KKK? You know, that's against his teachings, against his religion if he's Jewish. So mental, it really is. It's like to sell the souls out big time. Samuel L. Jackson had to go against his black blood, and in this film, grass on the black guy to the white guy. The Jew wears the pillow, who's killing, you know, and it's like, who's racial. It's just all warped and mental, but flesh for cash. So this establishment is still here now, and it's like when they did that and they outlawed it and they said, oh no, slavery, it's wrong, and we don't abide by slavery. When we look into the bondage of the certificates, and that's where we are at the moment with the bondage of the certificates and how it's been bonded. We're looking at covenants, what the covenants are, the vows, and the 1666 foretelling of the Messiah coming back, and the June of the 6 months of 1666, and he never came back. So then subsequent decrees, edicts and so forth were mentioned and done, and man has been truly enslaved again, but this time all creeds of man we recognise. All the black man's been put in again with the white, the Chinese, the Indian, anyone that's got the birth certificate and who hasn't got one of these famous black cards. Yes, the black cards. So that was interesting in itself, and just a roundabout journey that they actually got around the slave trade by the transfer of title for property, which is man, black man. I believe there was a Lord God above at that time that will have been judging. You know, wow. And so we already know about the I'm not going to jump too far here, but I've been learning about the different types of Bible and scriptures that are around, and that's why I'm looking into covenants and international covenants, and covenants between Abraham and covenants between Noah and God, covenants between, you know, quite a lot of them. The Gospels, the guys, the men in the Bible, and it's unearthing some other stuff by accident. It's all leading on like it's slavery, God, grantor of dominion, Lord, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It's all down to your own interpretation, and I'm trying to change your ways or views or anything, but there's codes everywhere, and we are trying to work them out rapidly. And I thank you for your videos and your input and your tags and my involvement with you and linking me up with others. And I've just seen I missed out on a chat by Lady O on a Hangout app, so I'm still getting used to integrating with the family and working with you, as opposed to just going live on my own and working on my own. So yeah, just let me get used to the systems and used to sharing stuff. And I'm quite a paranoid guy when it comes to the line of work that I'm in, and I keep to myself, and I don't often like to reach out, which is why we've gone to our own.com with the private unlisted link, and we invite you to meet us there. That's in in everybody's terms, rather than public casts like this. So yeah, these scriptures and passages and fathers and sons and spirits and covenants and acts and, you know, Ark of the Covenant, let's go covenant. What I found out, covenants, what I've since come to understand is that the covenant is a contract between man and God, the Lord God, maybe creator, maybe not creator, Lord God definitely. And this covenant was in the form of the 10 Commandments between Moses, who went up Mount Sinai. So 40 days and 40 nights. Man's up there, no food, no water. Wow. Numbers, imagery, certain points in that in itself. The Lord, the Creator God, gives him the 10 Commandments in 2 stone tablets. He comes down, God, however, and that comes down the mountain. It's all burning behind him, and he's got these covenants. Then allegedly they were put into what? An ark of the covenant, because a covenant is a contract between man and God. And the ark of the covenant, what we know from the stories and the capacitors and the charges and the passages in the Bible in the different parts of the scriptures that talk about the Old Testament, New Testament, King James, Colbrin, there's so many Bibles and bits and revisions, and let me work to that. The covenant, it's described in some of the scriptures where man must put on a suit, man must be careful of beholding the light of the Creator, because it'll kill you, it's done. And I'm like, so he's telling you to put on a radiation suit. So it's comprising different arguments of the Ark of the Covenant, and we're just bearing in mind the possibilities, and phonics and language and etymology do play a crucial part into finding the truth, and that's how we get there. So we need to listen to what you've proposed and said, and what we can find out about electric, resonance, pyramids, stone caps, stars in jars. What? We'll get to stars in jars later. And these scriptures and the actual messages within them about the the covenants and certain books and contracts with God, we see, and we are looking into now, which is just brought around this chat about man and bondage and Django and bills of sale and rights and wrongs, and even the boat going to America, Christ for Columbus, the name of the man and the dove, and going over to America, flesh for cash again. I was taught by the Western ways of education, which I would argue is probably some kind of Judeo-Christian Judeo way that we are in now. I know, but just to hear me out, teachings, indoctrination by the way of teachings at school told us that the Indian scalped the white man, and they were hostile, aggressive, nasty, untamed. We went over there, we did them a favour by doing what we did, and I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't sound very believable, and it's a bit ugh. But and we get to age, we do our own discovery and find out his story is quite a story, to be fair, and it's a grandiose story. So we do our own research, and we find out that it was the US Army Corporal Generals, the militia of the Admiralty, that in fact said to the chief commanders, field marshals, generals and militia that they was to now start collecting evidence of the squaw and the Indian braves that they killed. And they was like, well, what do you mean bringing back evidence? I've killed 100, pay me $100. And he's like, no, we're not paying out no more. The establishment, what the banking elite want is proof of the blood you are spilling. It wasn't so much proof of we need to know how many you've killed so we get the money right. They wanted to know actual fact. How many souls are we, you know what I mean? And so they came back with a skull, like the sculling, the scalping, and doing it that way and collecting them up in a bag and then going back. Oh, for God's sake, you know what I mean? And if you look at Quentin Tarantino, I'm keeping the thread here, and this is another thing we did, let alone the 2 world wars and what happened with the politics in them. Man is a destroyer of life, and he's doing it for money, and he's done it time and time and time again. So right now, in this moment, here and now, where we all are, do you think we've learned? Do you think we've stopped it? Do you think that everything's as it should be, and there's only a tiny few problems at hand at the minute? Allegedly, there's 7 billion mans and souls on this realm, 7 billion. No chance. No chances of 7 billion. Not with all the wars, and as I'm going through the killings and the nations, and the Africans getting it now. Africans seem to be rooted to the floor. Telling her if he's out there, he needs to get his arse back to Africa. I don't think I won't mind going there, to be fair, because I see what's happening. There's roots be down in the African tribes right now. That's one of the few surviving original that's going back to Africa. It began in Africa. Chemical Brothers remix tune. There's a reason for that. It did some of it, lands, continents, floods, things, cracks, Nibiru, Nephilim, Watchers, Giants. It's not bullshit. Now we've got Cherubim, thanks to FPV and the crew there. So the creators, architects, design, vortex mathematics, hidden vowels, Y and W, the return of Jesus in 1666. Fuck's sake, it's just insane. The covenants and the contracts, the Ark of the Covenants, the actual electrical Ark of the Covenant, the suppressed technology, things that look like that the Princess of Scotia from Egypt got banished and sent over to Scotland. That's where Scotland's got its name from. We're looking into that right now. Why Anglo man's got Egyptian DNA, up to 60% on the Anglo Isles can be traced back to Egypt. You go to Egypt, take the blood of man there, 15 to 20% of Egyptian man can be traced back to Egyptian man. Then you've got rhesus negative and rhesus positive. Then you've got the red-haired giants of Kandahar, the red-haired guys of Scotland. The girl that was banished from Egypt, that was Thingy's daughter, I forget now, I'll get it, yeah, had red hair. They've looked at China and looked at ancient China, 5,000 years at some of the earliest mummified remains found in China. They've got red hair and blue eyes. In the Sumerian architectural history and the fabrications that they've found, there's statues with the blue eyes. Some of them with blonde hair, some with red. Blue eyes in principle. Egyptians with the blue eyes, and the references too. 5,000 years ago, China, red hair, big jawlines, noses bridged by the eyes, not noses bridged where the Chinese lower down, different type of genetics is. 5,000 years ago, red haired, long jaws, bridged nose there by the eyes are found in China. Chinese that we know now are found there 3,000 years ago, BC, earliest time. So there's an issue with this red-haired race and the blue eyes and the Egyptian daughter and princess that was banished, Escotia, going to Scotland, the obelisk in London. It's just like, what? When man thinks he knows where he is, you suddenly have to go, we don't know shit again. You go back to the beginning again, and that's what we love about this game, and that's where we're at. Yeah, we do make corrections, and we are knowing everything, and history is a lie. Everything you know. So forgive us while we have to make corrections. I noticed some of the comments, and I see what he said, but that's why we've got our own .com, and we're going to go private. But this is just about war, man, policy, bondage, death, God, covenants, Ark of the Covenants, general just right and proper, as Smithy says, the Hollywood programming and what's going on there. So it's like the adverts late at night. Philip Schofield, let's talk about Phil. He started off in man's eye in the broom cupboard with Gordon the Gopher, didn't he? For me, Gordon the Gopher, that's where Schofield was. Andy Phillips replaced him, I do believe, with an equally annoying bloody puppet. So let's forward to 2018. Innocent child entertainer from the broom cupboard, didn't know shit, didn't know anybody, didn't have shit, didn't have any career prospects, in a broom cupboard. Vroom, 2018 from 1991. Where are we now, Philip? We're on TV. It's 11:30. It's at 9 p.m. Yeah, he's got a pink shirt on. He's sat on a lovely green lawn with a tiny little dog on his thing, and he's going, hello, have you thought about WeBuyAnyCar.com? Yes, I know private sales will get you a bit more, but who needs the hassle of that? And I'm like, what time is it, Philip? It's 11:30 at night, yeah, man. And you're doing an advert knowing that most people know that WeBuyAnyCar.com do not, and I have to be careful here now because I'm public, but WeBuyAnyCar.com, as advertised by Philip Schofield, do not offer full market prices. And I've got a quote from them, so I have first-hand knowledge. Everybody that's going to, argue about WeBuyAnyCar.com, I have personally had use with them, and I didn't get the full market price for something what I thought was worth at least £300 more. So Philip Schofield makes an admission at the beginning of their own advert by saying, yes, you can get more by selling private. In other words, we're going to bum rape you desperate women at night that, like me, with a pink shirt, with a tiny dog, that have got a nice little Mercedes on the drive, that don't really want undesirables coming round, or an Audi, one of these middle class type 2.5 litre full service history, only one owner, and we don't really want the riffraff coming round to the close, and the neighbours wondering who the fuck they are. So you sell it Schofield, and now take whatever percentage under the market price for, with all that, as I've just said, when you could have got a definite load more for it. And to indemnify that, they say it to you at the beginning of the fucking advert. Pardon my French. Furious. So that's just one example of manipulation and guys using that Position of trust is what we would say. Philip Schofield, abusing your position of trust, starting off in the broom cupboard, talking to boys and girls, giving them the entertainment as innocent as it was, ended up now to the same boys and girls that watched you in that broom cupboard. Now you're trying to get their sweat equity, it seems. For what? For what possible gain, Philip Schofield? Next advert. Have you seen the advert for the Halifax? This is some kind of sick effing joke or what? Now, this is the establishment you're in. We're going to close up on this. After this rather emotional and interactive Indigo and SPL's double cast, I would like to say Halifax have a new advert out. Oh, I've got to tell you about AO's new advert. Halifax next. This is really bad. Halifax, Wizard of Oz theme tune. We're off to see the wonderful Wizard of Oz. What is the Wizard of Oz film about? You know, we've told you, you've told us, we've confirmed it. Tax identification number is the Tin Man, the Yellow Brick Road, the Wizard of OZ. How do you weigh gold? With the number, with the symbols OZ. What is the gold? It was removed in the time the film was made, and they gave us Monopoly paper money. Yes, so you understand that. Now the Halifax are using that same film with the Lion and the Tin Man and the Wizard and Dorothy and the Halifax and the fictional fractal banking, and it's on the United Kingdom's TV for man to see. And I think it's a, you know what I mean? Oh, I could tell you about it all night long. Fractal reserve banking and the Smithsonian's way of throttling man by fiscal, deprivation of the gold and of the currency and the access. It's nearly as bad as Experian, Dan and his data self. Hello, there's you, the real man. And then there's this bullshit that we call legal identity. Right, AO, let's go. What do you think you're doing, putting a fake sun in the sky? What do you think you're doing? AO, you think you're talking about flat earth topics there or what? Holographic design is an advert of AO. Yes, I do notice shit and I get stuff sent me, so I have to bring it up then because you feel you want me to say it and I've got following and a bit of viewers, so I say it because you asked me to. Here we go. AO, TV, shows the sun. The sun goes out. Can you believe it? Not like the sun would ever go out. Let alone Buzz Aldrin saying we never went to the moon to an 8-year-old girl in a chair and saying, that's the truth. But revelations like that in an age of disclosure that we're in, the sun going out isn't that hard to believe. And you see the sun going, imagine if they put that in the 1950s. There's an advert today for the sun going out, Dorothy. It's crazy design, who had made an advert where the sun would go out? We all know that the sun could never possibly go out. It's an everlasting burning ball of gas. Isn't it, Dorothy? Yes, it is, yes. But so, 2018, AO, the sun goes out. As if it's a bulb in a kitchen. Yeah, and they go, oh shit, somebody makes a phone call, guys in a warehouse, running around, getting a sun in a box from a warehouse fucking position. Low, fork truck. It's onto the lorry. Lorry's going through these hills. Goes up the hills. Wow, there's some ladders at the top of this hill. Some blokes carrying this box out the van. They open up the sun, which is just as fancy. Big light. Peter Kay fans. Put big light on. They've got one of them. Peter Kay's big light comes out the back of this fucking AO van. They're rolling up this arcing hill and some ladders and positioning this fucking sun. Help me, please help me. I need to get out this realm. Please help me. Sort it out. If anybody knows of any place that we can go, we need to acquire some land and the world's going mad. Things are getting put in your face. Yeah, you could say, they're just conspiracies, but if they were just conspiracies, you know what I mean? There's a sick system out there and it laughs in your face and my face. It will make you pay for your own demise. It forces you to pay for things that it should give you. Soon we'll be paying for not only water, but not that we do, well, we pay for it, but distill it, but we'll be paying for other such things like air, the right to breathe. You paid your air tax. Get over there. Go and stand in the black, please. What? No, I don't like the black. Get in the black. Oh, I don't like the black, please. I like the black. Shit, man. Let's go. I'm going to read 2 screens at once. one day I'm going to talk about two different topics. I'm going to have Indie Channel on, I'm going to have SPO on. I'm going to cross correlate topics, and I'm going to be one of the first channels to talk about two different things at the same time, casting at the same time, because we're good like that. Right, so we go for SPLs because there's less on here, because we've got 4. So you guys, there's 19. This tells me actually, so we've got 19 and 4 and 23. Whew. You 19 need to search for SPLS space PRO and subscribe, please. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, so all of the above to that new channel, because we've got a lonely 4. So let's go, you guys. We've got Mandy, Stuart, Steve, Honda, and the Seeker of Knowledge, new subscriber. The Seeker of Knowledge, you've done well. We're bow to your wisdom. So that's who we've got there. And on this one, Curtis, Mandate, Steve. Oh, cheeky, we've got. I see what you're doing. You've duplicated me. How can you watch me on 2? That's on high on here also. It's good, isn't it? Eh? Look at man go. This is what indies do. This is what light workers, angels, crystal workers can't change the world. You know, can't change the world. No, can't do nothing. No point even thinking about it. Just carry on with your slave life. Keep your head down. Drag your ass to that place just over broke, and make your submissions and be grateful for it. How dare you moan? You're going to work to 75 now just for moaning, all right? Retirement for Steve of the family, Colin, 75. He had the audacity to moan about it. Hey, what do you want? You don't know you're born, you know what? Don't know you're born. Well, they're laughing at us, I'm telling you now, when they see them adverts that I've just told you about. Someone's there going, oh, yes, can you believe it, Charles? We've got a fucking advert for the Halifax, and they've used the Wizard of Oz. Did you not bet me 50, 100 million tears of innocent virgin African children, 7 islands, the whole of the United States Reserve in the Securities Exchange, that we'd never do that? Yes, I did bet you that. I'll get it to you right now. It's the sick shit that they get up to. It really is. It's just, oh, wow. You know, I can't get my head round it. And what we know about, you know, you got guys like the Scientologists getting hundreds of thousands and following and buildings, and what do? They believe in a galactic emperor called Zod or Zord or something. Just please. You know, we're in a world that's insane. You get the guys that don't need the funding, get all the funding. What's he say now? The next one, not only have we got Martin Lawrence, Jim Carrey, Dave Chappelle, who else has stepped up to the limelight and said shit's going down and it's wrong and the wrong people are up, yeah? The wrong people are running the country. There's things going on that we don't know about. Who was it? It wasn't Brad Pitt. It was somebody like Brad Pitt, wasn't it? A white actor has stood up to put with Jim Carrey. Oh man, it's not Brad Pitt. I'm just getting mixed up because of the films things that I'm talking about. Who's seen him? Is it somebody like that? Not Leo DiCaprio, no. It might be Brad Pitt. No, Wahlberg. Is it Jason Bourne? Bourne Identity? Is it him? Who's that? Oh, I'm so crap with Hollywood. I don't like it anymore. You see, I stay away from it. I do Star Wars. I do see what George Lucas has done now with the Force. When 2 become 1, when you use what Greg Braden goes on about in the Divine Matrix consciousness chat, check Greg Braden. Divine Matrix is Milano talk. You will learn a lot in that. He tells you about the scriptures and the books and how to use the law of attraction and how to get that to work for you. He shows you a hospital in Beijing that cures cancer in a woman's tummy in 3 minutes using no medicine, no operation. The feng shui. The Qigong Reiki masters are stood there and they're doing a word like they're saying, hois, 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 hois. There's 3 of them. And they're just saying something like that chant means, it means something like, everything is good, everything is good, everything is good, something like that. And they say it, and then they say, they change the chant up to the 3 minutes, and they're now seeing that the cancer is gone in the woman. They accept that the cancer is there, and they accept it. They say, okay, there is cancer. We see the cancer. We live in a realm where there is no cancer. There is no cancer. There is no cancer. We thank the cancer. We thank the cancer. We don't see the cancer now. Cancer is gone. The cancer is gone. The cancer is gone now. The cancer is gone now. The cancer is gone now. And they repeat it after 3 minutes. I shit you not. They have a ultrasound thingy for the pregnant lady, and they freeze the cancer and say it's that big, and you see the cancer that big on the screen, and it's freeze framed right there in the now. These guys doing that, working their way up to the chance, and you see on the other screen where it's real, it dissolves and it's gone. And because they see that the cancer is in this reality and they accept it, they don't fight it, they don't argue it, they go, okay, you've done your part, we've seen you, now it's time for you to go. Our reality, you're not in it. In our reality, we see this lady is strong and healthy and cured, the cancer is gone, the cancer is gone now. And this is the bit that's in the scriptures that say two become one in the mind and the matter, when the hearts and minds of man connect up and vibrate the same, and you can speak and go, I don't have a script, and it's amazing to you, it's amazing to me. But when you are intent and honourable and you learn what you want to learn and not what you're told and don't have to repeat, and I've chosen all of this to learn, but it's chosen me. Trust me, this shit's chosen me. I don't know about this, and I should be. You know, my mates in rugby and that now, they're wondering what the hell this man's done since he left rugby and where he's been and what drugs or aliens or places I might have been or taken or been subject to. But I assure you, I've never been inside, I've never killed a man, I've never done anything heinous like that. I've got clean hands in front of the Lord God, yes, and I don't know what's happened. Man and his children took off him for a domestic breakdown, and court man with the funny wig on and my barrister gave me a bit of paper and says, there you go, after 2 years and 20 grand, and that was it, done. Then she moves house. I go, well, Mr. Polish man, where's my kids? I don't know. Me no Polish, me no children. Shakira slams the door, ring them up, where's my kids? We're not telling you. What? Do you mean you're not telling me? They're my kids. Yes, we know, but we only tell them, Mum. What do you mean you only tell them, Mum? Give us your money. No, I want to know where my kids are. Give us your money. Hello, where are my children? Give us your money or we take you to court. You're only the father. There is no father. David, we are the father. It's like that scene out of Star Wars. Luke, I am your father. Oh, sorry, Mandela effect. It's not Luke, I am your father, is it? It's just, I am your father. Whatever it is, Mandela defect, man. It's like, what do you mean? I'm not paying you no money. You aren't telling me where my blood is, my children, then fair play, goodbye. And took me to court, didn't they? Tried to take man to court. And I went to see him and I says, no. And here we are today. They still didn't tell me. And I broke the contract. So that's not fair, is it? You work for me. And here we are today, yeah. And I'm like, the legal administrative issues are what brought me into this. Not money, not fame, not greed, not possession. I didn't want to build a website. I didn't know I was going to build a website. I've never built a website in my life. But I get into electronics, I mess around with electronics, I've got a can-do attitude, I've got a lot of strong friends. I'm from Rugby in Warwickshire, I've travelled up to the north, I've lived in bits of Greece over the time, over the years. I've got family over there, all over the continents, all over the landmass and that. We get about, yeah, we do, and I do, me, myself and I, all three of us, the tribunal to the establishment. Yeah, I'm a self-governing tribunal here, and we get about. Indeed we do, and we choose what we want to do. Life is a struggle at the minute. I'm not contracting with the establishment. I haven't done my status correction, but I'm right on the cusp of doing it. I have no contract with the state at present, except let me think, registration at a GP, national insurance number. I've stepped out of servitude. My person's no longer weekly updates via, or monthly updates via fiscal income are going to the state and the establishment. So what am I saying here? I'm not knowingly contracting with them. There are accounts open that I need to sort out, which is part of the trust, which we're going to try and do. And we're going to talk about that in the private. We're very close to that, and other such things. So that's a good update there. I just needed to download that and tell you where we're at. The Facebook group has changed. I've got a lot more free time. Andy, the Sovereign Smith, is agreed to take that on. He's now the governor of that Express Private Trust, as it is on Facebook, albeit on Facebook, but that's no longer taking up my time, as you'll see by the .com. This channel is for spowspro.com, so I speak about the .com on this video. This is indie for everybody else. This is education and updates for you, for your cognition and your key competence with regards to what you would need to know in life for the civil claims brought against your person, and how to handle your estate, what to do with whom, what your obligations are, and how you would best tackle that. I'm not an expert in all areas, our family is. So yeah, we've got to build that up. So I'm very grateful. We're very honoured to have G-Star as a technician there. If you need any website type advice, help, support, there is a little thing that says at the bottom of our website, which I'm not going to advertise by name, because you know where it is and you know where to find it. And there's a link there to G-Star and his support services and whatnot, if you'd like to contact and look at our site. And if you're impressed by it, this guy's probably one of the best that I've ever seen. And yeah, I've never built a website before, but I've seen a lot of websites. I've interfaced with a lot of websites. I've used DJ websites. I started using Kazaa in 1997, I think it was, on bloody AOL download. I was doing a lot of stuff with Yahoo Messengers and things that I shouldn't have been. With chat rooms and that, and looking at pioneering and coding for certain things, because that's what indigos and light workers and crystal and rainbows do. And I was aware of FTP protocols and transfer and Visual Basic runtimes and Sunsoft Java, etc., etc. when I was quite young in technology, was young in this game. Because of the DJ and the way that DJ software, Reason, Fruity Loops, Cubase, Reason, Fruity Loops, Cubase, what else was the Logic, quite a lot that we looked at, SoundForge. Then you had the 808 stuff, you know, back in the acid house days, and MIDI synths, programming, relooping, editing, effects, pirate radio stations, transformers, speakers, you know, 2,000 FM stereo transmitters hanging off the top of tower blocks in Sheffield or Manchester, wherever it was. Wow. So we got the technology, we've had our hands in a lot, yeah. We've always been independent. We cut the ties with the demons and the ones that seem to provide the remedy, but have no remedy. They cause the problem. What is it? Problem, solution, reaction. Cause the problem, and they offer the solution and it's like, no, this is not the way. We need to have this independence again. Like the school is indoctrinating our blood, and it's retarding them in such a way. It's unbelievable. It's unforgivable. And we have got education instead of indoctrination and schooling. Now you've got that with the universities. It costs hundreds of thousands, well, thousands, and you can get into hundreds of thousands eventually for the, you know, top courses. And law courses we'll talk about, yeah, they're hundreds of thousands to get up the way and get to your Temple BAR barrister's exam. So there's a lot going off. We've got a talk on the Railway Institute to attend. This isn't ours. This is by the not free thinkers, wrong. I can't think of it. I've posted it everywhere. It's on the .com in the forum. It's in the Facebook, and it's by the common law guy. So I've checked Rob S's. This isn't Rob S's event. I've checked his channel. I've seen he's been to a magistrates, and he's had a success with a road traffic infraction. And they've said on that video, this old guy, younger guy, and a lady with blonde hair, it's about 50 in the middle, and Rob's recording. She says they did well. She's grateful. She's thankful. Rob says about the charges and how they were handled and that they've done all right. And she said, but they recognised and presented as the person. Well, we know a song about that, don't we, Billy? And we will tell them about that at the meeting in York on the 4th of August. So go to the .com, please, or email me direct and ask about any reservations, or if you want to bring a few guys with you, or advance bookings, or you want to come down and actually have another head-to-head with Practical Lawful Dissent, guys that talk about Magna Carta, British Constitution group about the Constitution, bills and acts and contracts with the barons and the European side, and the oath and the monarchy, and then you've got the common law side of it, which is all mingled in. It's all in use. We've got UCC for international freight with the Admiralty, and then we've got the equity that goes along with the common law run in parallel, but equity and trust go in. So we've got a lot to encompass, and I've got a bit that I need to get out there, like this lady on Rob S's channel saying we've had a victory, but yet unfortunately we had to use the person. Well, that's correct. You have to use the person because they don't recognise the man. But when you use equity, it acts in personam. So when you use equity, you are acting as the man, because it doesn't. That's the rulings. It's the private man. the private person. So that's as good as you'll get to Rob S and anybody else out there. You can go and say you are the living man of the body and the flesh. You know, God is not a respecter of persons, but you then can use your private person to interface with the establishment. You know, the all caps public, Mr. title, date of birth, surname is the one that's going to be, you know, you put a Lien on your straw man if you want, and your caps and shit like that. You know, at the end of the day, you can look at quite a host of options legally, you know, trickery wise, but keep it basic. The man will never be, as far as I know, recognised. So you say that you are just David, and that's it. It's my full name. I present today as David. I'm here to help you administrate these claims. I am not the defendant. The defendant is here, and I can present his commercial body forward on the record to the court right now to be dealt with regarding these claims. May I call the clerk of the... And I'm not filing paperwork, by the way. I'm submitting this body of David Mr. to get in there and sort that out. You know what I mean? Now let's carry on. I'm now going to continue to administer my court. Back to the prosecution. Let's crack on. You know, that's what mentality we need to be getting at now, and the reasons for that. And I'm the man, and I don't agree to be the surety, and where's your oath, and all this, and you damaged that man. He's going to come back at you for his redress of them damages. You need to know that that's a boat. Search the Miami, Florida courthouse. Go now. Open another window. Tell me what you see. This is the sick system that I'm telling you about. You need to know about how to dance with this devil and what this devil is doing with the cognomen of Rome and the nomen of Rome and the estates and the property and the accounts. They're not bills, they're accounts of Rome. Yeah, thank you, Justinian deception. Bella Bella. Not only dogma, glossa, Latin, corruption, all of that. He tells you about other important fine-tuning stuff that my tiny eye had missed over. The Miami courthouse, yeah? America, what you saying? Disgusting, yeah? It's the shape of a boat. It's actually designed by an architect in concrete as a boat. So you're going on to the courts, and you've got the wooded there, you've got your public gallery. That's a boat. That's an internal boat that is docked on the land, Anglo land of Anglo-Saxon territory, not the England, English, yeah, Britain, yeah. We'll get back to that. So we call it Anglo-Saxon, yeah, soil. That's where we are. We're on Earth, Anglo-Earth, yeah. And there's a boat attached to Anglo-Earth. What's happening here? Well, you're going to come through there. If I go through this dock here, am I entering into a contract? What's happening? I'll talk to you here. If I'm fine talking to you here, pal, if that's all right, Judge. Yeah, I need to set my court. In my statement capacity, you've got the defendant. I'm here to administer that. I'm not the defendant. Let's go. What are you doing? It's your paperwork, you know, and off we go again. We did that with the magistrate. So Robert S., I know what you've done, and I'm very proud of you. I know you don't watch my videos. You're too far important and intelligent and clever and know it all and don't ever need to speak to me. I don't need to speak to you, but I will put the message out there and extend the branch. I'd like to speak to you. I'd like to have a hangout with Crow and talk about intelligent, articulate ways to do what I've said in the video called status, standing and capacities. So man loves common law. We love it. Man uses common law. Man respects it. Man knows all about it. And we know about common law, but this is the part where you don't know. You've got two persons and you. Most of you, it's a penny drop moment. It was for me. What do you mean I've got two persons? What? No. What do you mean? There's three of us? Oh, no, you sound like David. Now I think you're a bloody Holy Trinity and shit. Yeah, well, man is a Trinity, and this is a Trinity too. All caps, date of birth, surname. Yeah, that's one. Lowercase, private. Little David, semicolon, Jeremita. No Mr, no date of birth, nothing. Just that. That's the private. Then there's me. So I got me, myself, and I. The heart, mind, the soul, and spirit, and the capital, the lowercase, and the man. And the man manages them. That's how we've done it, and we've done well. So this is a moment to let the penny drop there. If it has just dropped, I'm happy. That's for free. That was a penny drop for me in the early days. So two persons, not the one. Ah, that explains a lot. I don't know if you're having a penny drop moment. If you are, namaste. If you're not, then you knew that already. Continue on. What else did they, because they're going to affirm before I went, the penny drop moment is also knowing who you are. That's half the remedy. That is true as well. You will vexate and anger the judge should you say certain things that aren't in your right or capacity, or you're not in the correct status, or under the assumptions and presumptions. If you do not, they will trick you and they will lie to you. You have got the right intent, you've got the right honour, you've got the right reasons. You know, you shouldn't go there at all, especially for civil matters. So killed by my debt. That's why we was here. Killed by my debt. I've posted stuff and I deal with the enforcement agents. I love that. I live to deal with enforcement agents. If I can have the time to get my head around this, then I do. JBW, I'm personally dealing with the litigation, enforcement, all of them. I've put them on notice verbally through email. I'm about to file a letter before claim. See in the group and the .com my JBW removal just by using the telephone, by using the law and laying down vulnerability. There's quite a few times, and they are bordering on naughty things. Search YouTube for JBW enforcement officers, you'll see all about them. Jamie Waller, I think, used to be the former CEO of them. He's had to step down after being exposed on the BBC. Killed by my debt was what agents were that? Let's do a test. Can you tell me what agents, enforcement agents, was hounding this mixed race kid? The slave of the system again, not just because mixed race, could have been a white guy, Spanish guy, a French guy, a Greek guy. They're all slaves. We're all slaves. You've got that certificate of birth, birth certificate, even your birth certificate with a person on, and that's what you're annexed to. You've been annexed to that, not so much joinder, and you are encapsulated in this assumption. And this guy committed suicide, as I've said. In that private hangout chat about that's why we went through V5 registration and logbook in a private chat, because it's important enough for us to give out some of the key crucial areas of legal protection without putting your iron horse in a trust as an asset, as the res, and protecting it that way and doing all these special things and setting up your express private trust. What you can do is a series of legal technical moves in which can indemnify anybody laying claim as you, the traveller, under whatever, you know, trying to say that you've got a charge levied against your driver, and if you don't pay, they're clamping. Well, I don't own that, you know what I mean? I might just be the driver, someone else might be the registered keeper, someone else might be, you know, the keeper, the owner, and the driver, traveller. You know, there's three positions. So we're talking about that and the dexterity that you can apply between that, and the importance of Django Unchained, bill of sale, transfer of property and title with regards to legal ownership. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Indeed there is, yeah. And we've got eyes to see and ears to hear. So 6 on SPL, so 24 on there, 30 of you. 11:45 by my alleged time piece. So we're all right on here. Newlyn, yes, Albert, it was Newlyn. You were right. I'm going to mention Christian names only, given names. Yes, scum. So that's the point of why we're here. Honda, barbarian, now known as foreigners. Never be subject. Yes, sir, I like that. Object. The ship is a carriage for barbarian invading combatants. Aye, aye. Secret of knowledge, easy. In property, Honda, title deeds, they're also positive and negative covenants. So think of positive and negative in that. Yeah, man, I'm finding that out there about these covenants. Got you. All right, over to Indy. Curtis, Yashaba. Mandy, hola, Steve, Curtis, Jonah Hill, that's his name, Jonah Hill, Django Unchained, takes a white pillow off. I'm like, fucking man's a jizz Jew. Why has he agreed to take a part where being on a horse about it just doesn't compute? The things they have to do. Samuel L. Jackson has to go against his own people. Just small things, but just, you know, disturbing. RFPV, Pirates, oh yes, they Rabbi, how we doing? Nonna, I've seen some emails from you. Good evening, sister. I will answer them tomorrow first thing. I'll be in the office early. I've just had to go through the Facebook, the admins. Trust me, I've really had a hard time, especially after comprising them courses and doing the videos, and now having to make PDFs and outline the structure, the infrastructure of the key competence grading process, moving up from the foundation levels and going on to merit, and then special with that given subject, the trust, the master trust, servant, slavery, giving you the basics for free, and then I'm having to deal with the admins the team, the Facebook, the politics, certain other things that went off. The Turan had the what was it? The near side front wheel bearing go. I had the non-selection of gears. We are travelling to Europe in about 2 weeks. Yes, we are. And there's lots going off. I've quit servitude, trying to be independent. It's just too much to juggle. We amassed 320 credits, pounds, in our trust for a guy from YouTube. So we're celebrating the fact that people do give a rat's ass. And in this day and age, we have got the capability for me to come out and put a pledge out there. You guys trust us, give us the donations. We get that, we bank it up, we put it into the trust account, transfer it to mine, out over to the guy that needed it, and within 48 hours we'd collected from you guys, sent to me and put to him, and he nearly, he's nearly cried about it. He was so happy. He's waited years of neglect so far, and before we make a claim, we'd like someone to have a look and see how badly you might be, so we can put that proof to the principal trustees of the the organisation that's at hand, that's denying this care. So we'd like to offer this to others, and we are going to try and build up the trust fund. So if you know anyone that needs to get rid of any tax, that's got some stuff that they want to offload and put into trust, and we can benefit from that and stuff, let us know. That's a slim chance. I am manifesting stuff using the things we talk about with intent and linkages at the same, and I'm speaking to the consciousness now universally at all times, and I try to be honourable and ask it to provide for you so we can facilitate. I am sure that soon we're going to be more on top of things than we are. So research wise, keep it coming, let us know. Finding 2 extra vowels, star in a jar. I need the name of the video. It's very interesting. I sent it to FPV, if you're still here. It's in the Hangouts. Within the first 6 minutes, when you have a bubble in water, the viscosity of this was quite thick, and they had a bubble in the middle. They're putting sound through it. When you put sound through it, it resonates the air in the water, and it does something special. The sound implodes on itself at certain frequencies and gives out wow, this is going on particles, electrons, neutrons imploding, collecting together and forming like a star, giving out lots of light. But stars are apparently pockets of air contained within water, having a high frequency resonance, something, whatever it is, going through, which then makes the air bubble in the water react and do that star-like thing. So search YouTube. I've given you a lot today. Wow. See YouTube and search not star in a jar. I'll put in the comments of these videos for both of them that video that you would like you to watch, and that's got some real powerful information in, and then it makes you think, as above so below. Water there, you see stars in the sky, and it's like, oh, when that guy comes out from NASA and goes, hey kids, I'd just like to tell you that Earth is a closed circuit. That's right. And even slow it down, Earth is a closed circuit. And it's like, what do you mean? And we went to the moon in 3 times or 4 times, and we haven't been since 1972, and it's 2018. We haven't been back to the moon. That's because we're in a low orbit is all we can get in. And the Van Halen bell, and all this speculation, and Buzz Aldrin saying to the girl in the wheelchair, and she says, we ain't not been back to the moon in a long time. And he says, yeah, that's because we never went, little girl, that's the fact. And I'm like, wow, isn't the world going insane? It really is going insane in the membrane. Angela, Curtis, all saying, hey, more here than SPL. Yes, Stuart. It's crazy, the world, that's what I mean. It is insane what you have to do and where you go, Stu. We need to catch up and talk about your place on the .com as well, brother. You nudge me and let me know when you're free, and I'll get to you. I Shot the Sheriff. There is a song there. It is top quality. New subscriber. Thank you very much. It's working. Thank you all for sharing. I Shot the Sheriff, Django Unchained. But then the deputy comes out. Yeah, it's like you've almost got a scene from Bob Marley. Nonna, hello there. You're saying hello. Yeah. You've seen Django Unchained? Please give me your reviews on that, or what you think about it. Or Sheriff, Fresh, If Resh, Fish, He Riffs, A Riff, She Riff. Oh, I could do with a riff. She's not. You guys are excellent. Django films. Yeah, 12 Years a Slave, that's a joke and all. When I say it's a joke, it doesn't depict anything quite like the true historical. It has a go, but it's just a joke. Dean, all right, brother. Easy now. All right, nice family that we've got. I do feel lucky having you guys and the connection and the information, the interaction, the belief, the trust. Another new viewer. Clansman Steve, aye aye. Easy now, nice one. Peter. Alright. Clansman. Might have to start watching if this much fun. No, it isn't. Oh no, TV's not this fun. No, I've just noticed some adverts have been on and one some know is experience now equals forever alive will be now unless we forget. Yeah, Matt, what are we? A civilization that's got amnesia. It turns out that in 325 AD there was a man called Copernicus that was some kind of colonial whatever, and he had the job of rewriting the is it right? Am I remembering this right? Copernicus, he rewriting the bibliothèque and having to compress it down and make decisions of why and how. I can't even fathom. And then he's then brought out the new edited Gospels containing the shrunken down information. It's quite deep. Yeah, too much for one man. Too much. And we've then got these ways, like Greg Braden says, the law of attraction, the power of intent, asking like this: ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find. There's more to it than that. There's a shitload more to it than that. Seek and ye shall find. All right, how do I seek? Ask and ye shall receive. All right, I'll ask, but you can't ask with your mouth because it's not a system that understands you with your mouth. It isn't a God that listens with its you don't go, God, I need help. He hears you and goes, oh yes, David's in his kitchen, he's just asked for help. 1 minute. No. It's a quantum entanglement of which the Bible speaks of, that has knowledge of. So how did they have knowledge of quantum and binary and cymatic love frequency, all of this stuff that we've only just found out about in 2018 with our smartphones and our Tesla cars? And don't get me onto Elon Musk, he makes me sick, honestly. What a joke, an absolute joke. Man burns 500 grand every day, government contracts that they're giving him. He linked up with the new Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, Tesla, integrated into government contracts. SpaceX, say 10 X10. You can get me on that. It's just insane, mate. Biblical prophecies coming true. No, I get that. He'll lose a lot. Yes, agreed. You should wrap in up like the mummy soon if they wrap millions of insects. Yes, Peter, agreed. Brian Harvey, there's another one. That's him. Yeah, Brian Harvey. I haven't seen that. I need to see that. I've missed it. Thank you for telling me about that. You've sent me a message as well. This is the first bit of free time I've got, and now it's nearly midnight. This is not work. This is just me enjoying myself. This is just come off the clock. It's in their contract is they have to tell us first, then they take no blame. Yeah. Non-disclosure. They tell you in a different way, ins and outs. Yeah, indirectly, non-disclosed ways. Karmic retribution is what they're balancing. So they tell you, like, they've even turned the Madonna into a material girl, you know what I mean, and stuff like that that's gone off, telling us there's 7 billion man on the planet. No, what they've done here is put you into a bloody tiny little space. Yeah, me and Sovereign Smith travel about regular. I travel about. I'll go to Greece and other countries and see. Not that I'm rich or anything. I haven't been on holiday at all this year or abroad because man's give up his job. I've got no savings. We're working for the trust. We've got no fund, and we are starting from scratch. So, I appreciate not everybody's in a position to fly around and stay on different sofas and give up work and try to make something out of nothing, and stay out of a criminal jurisdiction but become independent and recognise that what needs to be done. Indeed, what needs to be done, It's just insane, but we'll get there. We're getting there, very, very slowly and together. That's the main thing, but yeah, can't wait for a holiday. It's hard at the minute. Things are balancing up. I agree with that contract, and that take the blame and karmic retribution. I should go over there, over channel, or stay put here and like. No, just want you to remember that there's another channel, and please share it and subscribe. I have asked for them to monetize. Get ready now. Sorry, how many hundreds of thousands of hours have I given you with not one video with an advert in? Now I've asked them to monetize both channels, the SPLs Pro, because we need revenue for the trust fund, and there isn't any, and we don't want to go back to servitude, and we need to start getting smart about things. So yeah, they're going to get monetized, and I've asked for Google to look. I've done it all and set it up, and I've told both channels to put adverts on them, so the adverts are going to come very, very shortly, or they'll probably delete the channels. If they delete them, indie subscribers, you'll have to find SPLs Pro. If you have seen any of my videos that you like, that you would like to keep, then I give you permission to download them and get them now, because it may be that Google decide that this channel isn't quite what they want on their corporate military domain, and of which they may decide to delete me. Well, my account here, Indie, they won't delete SPLs Pro because it hasn't had enough hours and they're not reviewing it yet. But I've used the monetization to try and boost us forward, get revenue for that, because there's lots of views going off, and we need to use the energy, your energy. You know, every advert you click on, or you know, that you see that happens that you let play, will earn revenue. I'm not saying you should, but others will. Guys that like to research this topic, research it late at night, and I've often fell asleep and watched like a video, fallen asleep on the sofa, and then it woke up in the morning and about 30 videos have gone through and all them adverts have played. I'm like, no, it doesn't like it. But with us, you can leave that on and let them play, and you're winning, we're winning, nobody's getting harmed, and we're using the system to you know, get out the system. But 7 million on this planet, that's a lie, that's a trick. Yeah, I'd ask you to look at that again and seriously count them numbers. 7 billion, I mean 64 million in the Anglo landmass. After all that's happened and all of the disasters and the killings and the wars and how tightly packed we are, I'd estimate there's about 4 million, 2 million if that. There was, you know, so many, I forget the actual counts, but look into it. There's not 7 million of us on this ball. Yeah, watch One by One, Rick Mail, with the agenda in that. They say at least 40 times in an hour and in 86 minutes by 2030. 13 out of 14 people will be dead. There is an agenda. And it's like, fuck. All right, calm down. So yeah, there's something going off. It's not right. We're exposed as much as we can without being classed as terrorists and getting locked up, getting the channel shut down, watching Rob, loving what Rob's doing, going to the talk on the Saturday. Website's fixed, G-Star's on it, and he's a legend. Thank you for that, brother, when you catch up, and I've thanked you personally. Oh, that man, quite a debt, to be fair. He's done more work than he's been actually levied for, so you got, you know, respects for that. And t-shirts, I've spoke to a t-shirt man. That's a whole man that's made of a t-shirt. Yeah, when I say t-shirt man, it was a t-shirt with a head and some legs. I'm like, are you the t-shirt man? He went, aye. I'll give that away. He went, t-shirt like. He went, there you go. So we'll look at putting some pre-orders in. We're going to do some designs. So if you are a graphic designer and you've got any ideas for designs for t-shirts, bearing in mind it could be vinyl printed or done cheaply or expensively, we'll try for non-Fruit of the Loom shirts this time, and we'll get some designs. I'd like you to send me them to the usual places, through the .com, on the Facebook, to the emails. We've got somewhere in Nottingham, don't forget, to promote and have to have RVs, yeah, recreational vehicles, little vans, mini campers, that is, and tents, fire, barbecues, etc. So I'd like us to contemplate meeting up around about Nottingham, August, sometime in September, maybe middle of September. I'd like us to have an event before it comes to October, cold year, and I'd like to do this one now in the Midlands instead of the, well, Nottingham area, rather than Oxford or Birmingham. So then we've had a fair spread. This week we're up in York at the common, I don't know what to call it, I forget now, common law, rebellion, not rebellion, but there's a lot of guys there, practical lawful dissent, British Constitution Group, sovereign paralegals, more than this, speakers about 12, you know. I'm going to go and say a little bit later on. We give thanks to a man called Rob, who's put me in on this and organised it. And anybody that wants to meet us there, get in touch and we'll tell you how, what, why, when and where. I'm going up Friday with Sovereign Smith, so we'll be confirmed and go live Friday night and meet everybody. I have never spoke to John Smith or met him, so I'd like to look forward to seeing him if he's there and having a chat, a calm, normal focused chat. And I'd like to put some ideas across the table of a game of common law ping pong versus equity in a intellectual, and see what we can get out and knowledge wise there. Because if you don't know about equity and you promote common law, then you don't fully understand common law. That's point blank. So once you do, then you fully understand your position within that, and then that you have remedies when common law can't quite cut it, or even when the rules of common law and law conflict. When the rules of law and equity conflict, the equitable maxim will take precedence. I believe the Earl of Oxford come up with that equitable maxim. What? See what I mean? It's insane. That's right, and I remembered that right. I'm proud of Miss N. So something man should know, really. I'm more into the Mickey Finn, DJ, vibes, Wish Doctor, De-Explicit, Bullockate, Speed Garage, Lisa Lashes, all these kind of DJs. Judge Jules, yes, DJ Sovereign is what I might come out as next and do some event. But let's look for these comments. I'm going. It's 12 o'clock and we need to go. We need to shut shop. But thank you. Kanye West after his Trump Tower visit. No, we didn't see Kanye West. What's going on there? Steve, easy brother. Top quality, mean Irish, mate. Yeah, another new Klansman, new guy. Thank you for the new viewers. Good morning, evening. Jesus. Hi, Father. Luke, he's on about the Luke bit there, Jesus. Yes, we are all brothers, not fathers. I'm your brother. Hi, Jesus. It's insane, you lot, man. Let have whistle, then brown bread, or reprogrammed, or blood sacrifice, or do something, or blackmailed with what? And so shut up, disappear, no work, or next beast box office icon, come you hit, or wow, Mandy, that's interesting. Wow, I get that. Shocking. They have tried to do BH2. Logic was the best. SPL's Pirate Radio, yeah, that'd be excellent. Well, wow, we get to on that. Podcast is what we're saying, yeah, SPL's podcast. Too many, especially in London, agreed, Jesus. Into the public, now need to do they live break into a feed. Rob was arrested Friday, not heard anything since. No, okay, I heard, from John Smith's update. All right, yeah, got that. Yeah, I do see what happened, and I'm not really... Guy Taylor, yeah, well, I have a respect for Guy Taylor. Sorry, that was on my mind at the beginning. Well done, Jesus, for that. Guy Taylor, R.I.P., yes, it's a soul that's passed that was in the circuit that we know. Dragged him out, so he was detained and kidnapped against his will, under duress. You're sending your love and peace for Guy. Yeah, I know he's helped a few guys, a few mans that I know speak well of Guy Taylor, so he obviously had his heart in the right place. He did things and he tried to do as much as he could with what he could when he could. So those are the guys that these channels 20 seconds slower than live. 1:13:24, 1:12:56. Wow, look at you go. You know that shit. All right, being arrested. Yeah, Taylor will say that. Thank you, 69. Try. The problem is them turning non-crimes into crimes and then presuming you will plead guilty. Yeah, they can't turn a non-crime into a crime. What they do is they give you a statutory infraction on something or a complaint, or they form a distress warrant, something like this, and then you, by taking it on and agreeing to be the surety for that debt claim charge and answering to that name, get salvaged under the system, and you get salvation and salvage. But what you don't want that. And if you try to go there and argue it and you do it wrong, that's why you end up with a summary judgment. The summary judgment will be the reason why you get that, is because the judge and the court don't understand and hear, and they're confused, or they're bent, and they're Sith overlords, and they don't listen, and you only know so much, and you can't go that extra mile and stand on it. And because he says, and you're quiet, he knows you can't argue that, so he's like, ha, and so guilty as charged, you know, and all that, because snowballing on. If you do that when you go up, you know, actually, you know, I appear to be in the wrong court and certain things, and that's how we do it. So it's not something you should do lightly, or you should even do at all. You should sort it out as we advocate in the private, and compelling and letting them know that way. And if you can't, then it may be that it has come to it, and you may want to take witnesses and go down that way. I heard that there was a common law court in Scotland and they wasn't letting anybody in. Well, it's not a common law court if the police are outside and they're not letting anybody in, is it? I'm hearing second-hand bits of information, Nonna and family. No one talks to me directly. I don't know if I offend them, if they think I'm a crackpot, if they think they know it all and they don't need to talk to anybody because, you know, they're far too clever to even learn anything. I don't know what it is, but thank you all for this. We're on the right path. We've got a lot of work to do. I will help bring this subject out with Andy and the family and the trust, the subsequent express private trust that we're in the middle of setting up. We've got the domain, we've got the honour, we've got the clean hands, we found out about the covenants, we know we've been bonded, we've broke no crimes, and we're coming to kick their asses. System destroyers, exactly. The username dot. Joining the system and using their trusts is not the answer. Oh, okay. Here we go. It's just got exciting. Okay. Who are you? What? Destroying the system. That's what we're doing there, yeah. Anubis, the god of the 13 families. Anubis and a Nubian. I'm looking into the Nubian stuff right now, actually. Funny that Egypt is placed right in the bang centre of where... Get the realm and look at it as it's laid out. When you lay it out, right there, and I'm talking 3 pyramids of bang in the middle. So when they went for meantime, like meantime of the world, that's where central time should all be based from and go out and spin out accordingly to. Where did they put meantime? London, Greenwich. It's nowhere near where the pyramids are, in the geographical centre, landmass of the realm. It's just beggars belief. I said, let's all buy guns and go after them, but it was frowned upon. Yes, it was. You've got to rise above that. Listen to this guy using their word magic. This is phonics and etymology, dot. So you can do what you want. You are here viewing me. You may go if you don't like it. And yeah, you can get out of town. But I've stopped taking chemicals and I'm purifying myself in every way. I am passionate. Yes, that's way too much coffee. I know who you are. I can see who you are. I know you're one of the ex-admins from the Facebook group. Boom shanker. That's how much coffee man's got. I can see straight through that screen name. Everybody, we've got a disgruntled ex-admin from Facebook that's been taken out recently, and they put their name in and they're hiding behind that. Yeah, I like to preach. Don't worry, guys. We're unique. Doesn't matter how and who we are. Be proud of who you are. What makes you, you know, tick. What makes your character. What makes you unique. This guy with the anonymity, yes, who doesn't want to say who he is, put himself out there. He's part of their system. You see, he's telling me that I'm using system words and spellbinding you. He's not seen the 234 video that man's done in the last 24 months, that's right, in his own free time, out of his own free will, and helped for free and asked for donations of kindness to go into the thing, to put back in, to give back to you. You're just making yourself look like a big old schmuck. Yes, and you know what a schmuck is? It's a bit of skin they cut off the baby in the Jewish bris. Yeah, that's you, Dot. See that schmuck? That's you, that is. And you're part of the system. You're trying to waste energy, wind me up, and you are the system because of your words that you say and your lack of anything. So, disgruntled Facebook admin and also shill and troll, you are the system personified. I am the resistance with that system. So, if you want to come to Burton-on-Trent, find me, you'll find me. And when you find me, you better get me, because if not, I'm going to get you. Why can't you comment on chemtracks? Well, you can. You can comment on whatever you want. Thank you, Jonesy. Nice one. I could rattle off a load of words. I hope you all think I know what I'm talking about. No explanations for any of his words. He's given us a lot today. I'm still waiting for what he's given us. Ass man. Oh, go away then. Find another channel. Yeah, that's what we say. You can, Clansman, you can comment on whatever you want. Steve HV, yes, brother. Peace and love. We got going on here. It's to be expected when you reform your group. You get a bit of this kickback, and we take that. We're doing all right. Had a chat with Santos, Crow77. We're going to York on Saturday. If I was a crazy motherfucker idiot, I don't think we'd be getting where we're going and having the successes in magistrates and with the paperwork. Got a bit of a DWP issue to sort out. We're at the corporate directorate office for the NHS complaint, so we're doing all right, mate. We've had a few successes. We've got a good, strong family. We're showing the love, and we're showing you know, the peace and the consideration. So it's all good. I am hyper though, because I'm very, very excited about what's going off and where we are. And I am employed by the creator I'm on the sacred contract dot. And I'm employed to get these guys up, build the spirits, revitalize them. I recharge them just by them watching somebody like me in this persona, yes, personified with this intent, with these connected at the same vibration. I've been told it does a lot of crazy stuff, so I'm looking at this one all the time, SPLs. My apologies. I love you too. Just I had a lot of comments to work my way down. I'm nearly at the end and I need to focus on Dot, but now we're off him and we're back on track. Watch Judge Rinder. He couldn't remedy a couple. Oh God, Lord, I'm going on, Jonesy. Judge Rinder. Don't understand written language. Dot, you need to go and watch the videos on my SPL's Pro channel and the rest on here. Then come back, give me articulate consideration. Stop being disgruntled about being kicked out of Facebook, or that you are the son of a Sith overlord who's been bummed regularly, you know, by the system and his father, and you can't get out of it, and you are at the mercy of. You've probably been sacrificed. So that's all I can say. Judge Rinder, I was bored. Yeah, I'd seen that at work on the playback one time when I was in servitude. SPLs, I'm back. Honda, yeah, got you there. Newlin, thank you, brother. Mandy. How do we get that remedy? I don't know yet. I don't know. We're working on that, Mandy. We'll let you know through the .com when we know. Profit or reward has killed many a man. That's right. LSD. What's LSD? Clanman, what you on about there? Yeah, when you know, when justice becomes profitable, then you know, wow, it's just damn shame, isn't it? Damn shame. Got some good info though. Yes, all right then. Judge Rinder. Are you on about Judge Rinder? Jesus. We should all pray for this person. Insult show at an inferior self. Yes, top quality. I am me. I am hyper. That's why I'm going to go and self-medicate right now. But I don't self-medicate till bedtime. Man's got discipline. No red eye. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm alive. I'm focused. I'm not anything other than what I present to you. And yeah, we're on a sacred contract. We piss a lot of people off. We piss hundreds of thousands of people off. Yeah, the 1%, they are many. 1% of so many million, you know, it's a lot. That 1%, there's a lot of sex in that, you know, areas, and we're aware of that. We don't mind. We put ourselves out there. That's what I'm here for. So give it me, bring it me, send it me, threaten me. That's what DJ is here for. When I was DJing, that's what David, the man, is here for. My intent is good. Bring it. I can take it. It doesn't affect us anymore. It used to. We've learned. We've become professional. We've a big family. We feel loved. We're very lucky. Yeah. And you guys, you're in the minority, and you are the ones that are losing. And it's clear and apparent you're losing. And yeah, we will see you on the other side. Peace and love. That's my first double cast done. Interesting.